here today with Nicole Bitterman. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. So why don't we go ahead and get started with sharing a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. Well, I'm a mom of 5. My current job is I'm a birth doula. I own a company called Loving Hands Birth Doula. I partner with other doulas in the area that are my backup doulas. But I pretty much more often a stay-at-home mom with my 5 children. I have 1 son adopted from Ukraine who's a special needs kid, and then 4 biological kids. So they keep me really busy.
Yeah, it sounds like they keep you very busy, and you still want to deal with children after that. So that's
oh my gosh, birth is my passion. Like I cannot get enough. If I could be at a birth every single day, I would be. It's so much fun.
Yeah, well, I think you have to be that kind of creature to be able to be in it for a living, right?
That's true. It's definitely not a situation lots of people can handle.
Right. That's excellent. So, I guess I might be able to answer this question, but what made you get started in this?
Well, actually, at the age of 12, I decided I was going to be a nurse. What I wanted to do. And so I started nursing school, went through nursing school to hopefully work on the labor and delivery floor. And that turns out to be very hard to get into. So I worked cardiac telemetry instead, which was not at all what I wanted to do. So I did that, and then my husband and I got married. We had our first daughter a year later, and then I became a stay-at-home mom. So 5 years ago, I started being a birth doula because I figured it kind of married both things that I was very passionate about, being able to be involved in births and being medically trained in the past, and then I can make my own schedule because I have 5 children. So luckily, my husband and my mom are both incredibly supportive, so they're both my on-call people. So when I get called to a birth, I know I always have backup for childcare.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And it's probably hard to find backup for 5 children every time you have to go places. So that's nice to have that.
I'm lucky that all 5 of them are in school now, so I have like my daytimes free. So I'm able to schedule any of my regular appointments like prenatal visits and stuff like that during the daytime hours when they're not here.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I know we have 2 kids, and getting through those years, the toddler years before you had an opportunity to kind of get a breather, was fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. So walk us through the day in the life of a doula. Like if somebody didn't know what they do, can you describe what that is?
Absolutely. A doula is a support person for a mom and the dad at a delivery. I get hired by the actual clients. I don't work for a hospital and I don't work for a birthing center. I work for the mom and dad. So when someone's giving birth, if they're at a hospital, typically nurses have 4 other patients to deal with. Doctors have other patients to deal with. So they're in and out of the room maybe once an hour or so, and I am a constant support to the team. So I am in with the mom. I'm doing massage, acupressure, using essential oils, getting her moving around and doing different positions to get the baby moved down for the entire time. I do home births, I do birth centers, I do hospital births. I've been at all of them, and every birth is unique. So everyone has its unique challenges and its ups and its downs, and whether there's back labor or not back labor. And so I just help the mom, and I teach the dad different things he can do to help mom as she's dealing with the pain. If she's doing a natural birth, and if she's doing a medicated birth, we're able to help with position changes by using peanut balls and give her a massage and help that baby make its way into the world.
Nice.
So that's what I do there at the hospital.
No, it sounds like it's something that everybody needs.
It definitely is. The research has shown that having a doula present at your birth actually decreases your risk of getting a C-section. We make for shorter, easier labors. We have a lot of research backing us up now.
Yeah, I can see. It sounds like you focus a lot on relaxation, right? And
yes.
Breathing and things like that.
Yep, I just had a prenatal visit this morning with one of my clients, and we went over guided relaxation and acupuncture points and the rebozo, which is a long scarf I use to help support the mom, and different stuff like that.
Nice. So, what about the dad? So
you're curious on that one, right?
Yeah, so the dad's over there, he might be stressing, the mother in birth. How do you kind of coach them?
Yeah, well, if they're anything like my husband passed out in our first one. He was not able to handle seeing me in pain. He didn't know what was going on, what to do. He was freaking out. One of my first home births was actually for a friend of mine, and the baby was coming much faster than the midwife was. And the dad was freaking out, telling me, "You're going to have to deliver this baby. Here's all the paperwork. I don't know what to do." And he's on the phone with the midwife, and I was like, "It's okay. We just have to breathe. Everything is going to be fine." And she showed up literally as the baby was crowning and just called out her name and went in and just caught the baby. We made it by hair. It was really close. And then other dads are not as afraid of the birth atmosphere. And then I kind of get them involved in telling them, this is a different acupressure point you can use. This is a great way to give mom a massage. Here are some essential oils to use. You know, helping dad show positions that he can support his wife in, you know, like holding her up so she can do a supported squat to help the baby come down. So I kind of, and then if dad's sleeping, you know, if it's been a 12-hour labor and dad is exhausted and mom is sleeping, I'm the holder of the space. I'm there so dad can rest and be ready for when baby comes while mom rests. She wakes up and needs something, dad can stay sleeping knowing that I'm right there to jump in when they need me.
Nice.
So, yeah, I think it's mostly dads that would probably be like adamant that I'm at the birth more than the moms.
I agree. That's why I wanted you to tell me how that would work.
Yeah, dads love it when I'm there. It takes a lot of the pressure off.
Tell me about it. Our first child, I thought Lisa was going to deliver in the car both times.
Oh, right. Because you
have a doodle on speed dial.
That's right.
We didn't have text back then, but it was a nice day.
It's funny. It's funny. I tell my clients I'm available 24 hours a day. My client I just met with this morning, because they were asking, when do we call you? I'm like, anytime. Even if like you're not sure what's going on and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, my phone is next to me. Call me, because that's what I'm there for.
Nice.
Yeah. I go on call at 37 weeks and I stay on call till 42 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow. I'm sure it is. And I'm sure you're getting calls at all hours of the night, right?
Yep, and it's totally fine. I absolutely love it. My last birth I did, which is actually in September, and the dad didn't want to wake me up too early. So he waited until like 6 o'clock in the morning to call me and call the midwife. So I was much closer because I'm in Minooka and they were in by Montgomery area. So it only took me half an hour to get there. It took the midwives almost 2 hours to get there. So I ended up delivering the baby because the midwives didn't make it on time. So I was like, always call me. 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't care. It's what I do. That's my job.
That's excellent. So, so obviously you're passionate about what you do. What's the most exciting part for you? I mean, what do you get most excited about? I
find it most exciting that I'm helping a mom. Like, we're welcoming the baby to the world, but we're also welcoming mom into motherhood. Whether it's her first baby or her third baby, it's still a different stage of motherhood. So it's very cool to be able to be the person who's privileged enough to be there to help them both transition into a new stage. It's pretty amazing.
No, yeah. I chalk it up to the most amazing thing that I've ever seen. I mean,
yeah, it totally is. I've loved it since I was young. I've always wanted to do this, and back when I lived in Manhattan, there was like a women's shelter kind of place where unwed mothers could go, and I remember I was only a teenager, and I was like, oh, I just want to go there and be able to go to their births with them and help them, and here I am now, like 20 years later, and that's what I'm doing. Nice. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's always great to be in the role that you're supposed to be in.
Exactly.
And so when you're in those kind of roles, as your job, I'll call it a job, but it's probably not a job. It's just what you do, right?
Yeah.
You know, people do a lot of different things to stay on top of their game. What are some of the things you do to kind of stay sharp?
I take my time every day to pray and read my devotions. That's the first thing I do in the morning. And then my husband is fantastic. I'm very much an introvert. I recharge by being by myself.
Sure you are.
I'm a people person, but to like be like refreshed, I need time to myself. And so he's very good at when he comes home from work, he's like, okay, go have some time to yourself. I'll take care of the homework with the kids. And then we do a lot of little mini family vacations just to get away from the normalcy of life. And my job affords me the ability to do that. So
and that's great. And you got to stay fresh. And what's really cool to me, I've done a ton of these interviews, and several of the people that I interview say that they're introverts. But you would never tell. Right? No, you'd never tell. And that's because they're talking about what they love to do.
Yeah.
When you get people going on that, they can just talk your ears off, and it's excellent. That's a signal that you're doing what you're supposed to do, and it's exciting.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. When you're following your passion and what you're passionate about, it's not even a job. It's something you just love doing.
Yeah. So you get put in a situation like this, you're just able to talk and talk and talk.
Yeah. I could talk to you for like 3 hours on labor and delivery.
And that's great. And that's excellent. So imagine if everyone were doing what they were called to do, right? I mean, it's just being incredible, isn't it? But yeah, so, say you're sitting back and you're staring at yourself years ago when you decided to kind of go on this path. If you had any advice for yourself back then, or maybe somebody else that's curious and maybe interested in taking a similar path, what kind of advice would you give yourself at this point?
I would say not to doubt yourself. I know for me, I was like, oh, I'm so young, or, oh, I don't have that much experience. And I just stepped out of my comfort zone. I'm huge on stepping out of your comfort zone. You're not going to make anything happen until you step out of your comfort zone and kind of grow. That's how you stretch and you grow and follow your passions. That's my thing. I just followed my passion. It took me longer than I would have wanted it to, but I just followed what I love and doing what I love, and I ended up being a birth doula doing exactly what I love. So I just tell my kids, know what your strengths are. We have my daughter already involved in community theater because that's what she's passionate about. And so if you have kids, I'd say get them started at a young age, see what they're really good at, see what their strengths are, and then put them in something that edifies those strengths and, help them on their path to finding what they're really good at. Because I think once you find out what you're passionate about and what you're talented at, you'll easily find your calling.
Excellent. Great advice from the introvert. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Yeah, so, and it always helps when you have a little extra motivation as well. And obviously transitioning into motherhood probably, opened up your mind to the other options that were out there, right?
Yeah, and I didn't work doing anything outside the home until my kids started in school full day. Like now that they're in full day school, my 2 boys are now in 1st grade. Mm-hmm. So now that they're in school full day, I'm really putting 100% into my business, not just like a casual, oh yeah, I'll do this every now and then. I'm putting more of my effort into it because now I have the time to actually grow my business and take on more clients. Right. It's fun.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I'm happy that you're able to do what you love. That's excellent.
Me too.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it's, to the point I made earlier, man, if we could get everybody doing what they're best at, and not just going to work to collect the paycheck.
Yeah.
It would be incredible. It really would. And that's kind of one of if we look at the grand vision of what I'm trying to create, that's, if I had a perfect picture, that's what it would be.
Exactly.
So, and I believe it can happen. I'm that guy.
I know it can happen because I'm doing it now,
So hopefully these videos inspire people to go for it, and take the inside you and bring that out to help inspire other people.
Absolutely.
So anyway, we both met through the Coopratizing Network. That's why we're here, and that's who we're talking to today. If you had the podium for a few seconds here, you have the opportunity to kind of speak out to the group and ask them for help, or maybe you have ways that can help them as well. What would you share?
I'm trying mainly to connect with. Really, I could connect with anybody because everybody knows women who are pregnant. Yeah. So I don't even have like a small audience of people and not like super specialized pregnant women. That's what I do. Yep. pregnant women, and then I do visits in people's house if they need help postpartum wise, helping with the baby so mom can take a nap because she's been up for 8 hours, you know. So really anybody involved in the healthcare field, or I know I've already connected with one lady who runs a health food store and does a natural practice, because that's most people who hire doulas are kind of going with the natural home birth or natural home birth in a hospital setting type of thing. So really anybody, I connect with anybody, and I've had a lot of success so far with talking to different people, and I think I've only been in the group for maybe 2 weeks now.
Oh, excellent.
So I think it's a huge opportunity. I've already invited some of my friends in there as well that run their own businesses, because I know that the networking has been amazing.
Well, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Trying my best.
I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and that's on video. That's on.
Yes, so you've got proof now. I did say.
But I know most people that are seeking natural childbirth and doing it on their own are the ones that typically hire the doulas. But I mean, do you work hand in hand with doctors as well?
I do. I'm trying to get into more OB offices and doctors' offices so that they have my information to be able to refer their patients to me, whether they want help in labor and delivery, or they need help postpartum wise, or they need some help with breastfeeding, or, you know, typical newborn type questions and concerns, or they just need a break or help with laundry. I do all of that for postpartum visits as well.
Nice. So everyone has a doctor, right?
Everybody has a doctor. Most women have a gynecologist or an obstetrician. So there's my field is limitless. I can go anywhere.
Right. Now we just need to figure out how to split you into several different pieces, and you'll be all good, right?
That's the tricky part. I'm very lucky that I know many other doulas in the area. So I have backup doulas. Like if there was a family emergency and I couldn't be there, I have people I can call that would do it as well.
Excellent. So if I wanted a doula, or we're interested in learning more about what you do, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
I have a website that actually has all of my packages on there, explains what a doula does, explains my postpartum rate, and that is lovinghandsdoula.org.
Excellent. And you want to give out your phone number?
Sure. It's I have my always reachable on my cell phone, which is 815-847-8838.
Excellent. So everyone, I mean, you've met her. I would call her today.
Yeah, call me today.
Call her today. She's available. She'll even answer at 2 o'clock in the morning.
But only if you're in labor.
Okay. You have to be in labor. Thanks for qualifying.
Yeah. I don't want everybody just calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning just to see what I'm doing.
Initial consultations, probably not, right? You don't want to be people at 2 a.m.
During normal business hours would be ideal.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, I appreciate you sharing your story with us and your passion. It's been really fun talking to you today.
You as well. I can't wait to connect with more people and do more networking.
Excellent. And for the rest of you, we'll see you online soon. Thanks.